Hey, everybody. Welcome to our weekly devotion for Good Shepherd Lutheran Church. As you can probably tell if you've seen before, this is not the normal setting I have because I'm recording from my office in the basement at home because I still haven't dug my car out yet and the streets still haven't been plowed. So it's a little difficult to get around in my little car. But so I'm recording it from home and posting it tomorrow because when you see this video, the normal time I post, I'll be out in the parking lot offering ashes and communion. We will also be doing it again from 5:30 to 6:30, and then we'll be having our Ash Wednesday service online beginning at 7 on our YouTube and Facebook channel. So feel free to join us for that if you'd like. Today, first of all, it's good to be with you all again as we read Scripture and talk about it a little bit. This week, I'm going to be reading from the Old Testament lesson that is for Ash Wednesday. It's the alternative lesson, actually. Starting next week for our devotion, I will be using the Old Testament lesson that we'll be using for our Wednesday evening midweek services. Pastor Ron Ween from Mighty Fortress Lutheran Church and some of his other faithful people have put together a midweek season that they have shared with us. With liturgies and readings and stuff. So we will be traveling together with them as we do that as well. I look forward to sharing my thoughts through the lens of the theme, Reaching Agreement with God, Even in Adversity, beginning next week. But again, today I'll be reading from the alternative Old Testament lesson for Ash Wednesday, which comes from the book of Isaiah, the 58th chapter, verses 1 to 12. A reading from Isaiah. Shout out, do not hold back. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Announce to my people their rebellion, to the house of Jacob their sins. Yet day after day they seek me and delight to know my ways, as if they were a nation that practiced righteousness and did not forsake the ordinance of God. They ask me righteous judgments. They delight to draw near to God. Why do we fast, but you do not see? Why humble ourselves, but you do not notice? Look, you serve your own interest on your fast day and oppress all of your workers. Look, you fast only to quarrel and to fight and to strike with the wicked fist. Such fasting as you do today will not make your voice heard on high. Is such the fast that I choose, a day to humble oneself? Is it not to bow down the head like a bulrush and lie in the sackcloth and ashes? Will you call this a fast, a day acceptable to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I choose, to loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? It is not to share your bread with the hungry. Is it not to bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see naked, to cover them, and not to hide yourself from your own kin. Then your light shall break forth like the dawn, and the healing shall spring up quickly. Your vindicator shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. Here ends our reading. Our reading continues. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry for help, and he will say, Here I am. If you remove the yoke from among you, the pointing of your finger, the speaking of evil, if you offer your food to the hungry and satisfy the needs of the afflicted, then your light shall rise in the darkness, and your gloom shall be noonday. The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your needs in parched places, and make your bones strong, and ye shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water whose water never fall. Your ancient ruin shall be rebuilt. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations. You shall be called the repairer of the breach and the restorer of streets to live in. This ends the reading from the book of Isaiah. You know, we've been told for a long time to fast from indoor gatherings, to fast from outdoor gatherings, more than 25 people, from unnecessary travel, to fast from in-person school, but to overindulge in the virtual meetings. Fast from expecting a quick resolution, and please fast from political posturing for a minute. Fast from the uncovered faces and indulge in imaginable masks. Fast from indoor dining, but indulge in takeout, especially from the small stores who are just trying to make it. We've had so many instructions the last 11 months. Fast has been declared. Sackcloth has replaced with mask cloths. So what do we make of all this? The prophet Isaiah is a beautiful column of words, but truly this Ash Wednesday, it will not be built on words, but by the world that is still trying to stop hemorrhaging of much loved ones, friends, and family. Truly, we sit upon an ash heap of tears and unrealized hopes in the pandemic. In the process, we've drawn all sorts of images upon our brows. Political D's and political R's, and we're sick and tested and vaccinated, and well, mainly, we're just all tired. This Ash Wednesday, we don't need a reminder that we are dust. I have a feeling that we are all too aware of that by now, my friends. But this Ash Wednesday, we need a reminder that God makes beautiful things out of dust. The feast that God desires, though, is one of justice. In a pandemic, that looks like wearing a mask, abstaining from gatherings, and putting off travel in defense of the vulnerable. It means taking seriously the needs of our communities of color and indigenous communities and our community of elders that are created with inequitable access to resources and care. It means learning, too, about comorbidities, about how these can exasperate vulnerability. Although, if we're honest, we all have comorbidities we're unwilling to acknowledge or face. All humans have a comorbidity of being made of dust. God is in love with people with comorbidities. Let's not pretend that we're expendable. And it's not just this pandemic, but long after it. God makes beautiful things, and it's high time that we acknowledge it, but behave as if it were true. This Ash Wednesday, we mark ourselves on the brow, not with a D, not with an R, or vaccinated, or employed, but with a cross. A cross that says, in no uncertain terms, that all those other markings pale in comparison to the mark that we have received on the brow of our baptism. And that biological mark that all creation received in being formed from the dust that we use in remembrance. Let's all fast from something this Lent. Let's fast from elitism, not just from mass gatherings. Let's fast from ableism and not just running at the gym. Let's fast from every ism, not just traveling to exotic places to be waited on by unpaid workers. This year, we have the opportunity to see what a fast truly means by God. It means remembering that we are not gods. We're the dusty ones. And God is in love with dusty things. So we can be in love with them too. We can be in love with all of them. Well, that's what I have this week. Again, I hope you can join us tonight on this YouTube channel and our Facebook page for Ash Wednesday services. But until I see you next week, take care of yourselves and each other.